Greetings, my friends. I'm Gilles Mancillon. I'm called to return to continue to speak about transcendental psychology, the preparation for this ascension, for this physical ascension that we are preparing for, which is quite amazing because it's a physical. My consciousness has ascended a long time ago, but it's my physical body in the third dimension and my emotional body in the fourth dimension that's always been giving me more problem. But right now it's all balancing out. So I want to discuss a little bit some of those tests that we're going through. The first one is that many people have been called conspiracist or crazy by their family. When they awaken, they discover a higher truth. They see behind the light, or they're seeing a higher truth, and they're really being confronted by groups of people that do not believe them, and they're really. But that is a test: can we hold our light, our truth? Can we be true to ourselves, to what has been coming up in our consciousness, regardless of the environment? And so it is not easy. But it's like I'm going to discuss a little bit some situations of the past in history, but it was important also that we were separated from all those who awaken, were separated from each other, so we can cultivate our own light. Very soon we're going to come into platforms where we're going to be able to come together, even if it's just for entertainment or for pleasure, and co-create together. That's really going to accelerate the program. Thank you to all who's working through the collective field, to stabilizing the field of the planet and the core, from the core to the upper atmosphere. There is a field that's really the more we bring our light to the wholeness of the planet, the easier it is for heavens to penetrate, and also to understand that those who are criticizing us, they, for having this enlightenment, is because people are afraid that if they are right, all that they believed were false, and so that they have to reconsider all their beliefs, and they're really afraid of that. So the fifth dimensional ascension needs a physical preparation. We need to be prepared physically. Because for me, it's like sometimes I regret that I've quit smoking, because sometimes I enjoyed smoking or drinking, but I quit everything. It's like all my addiction. So, but it's not the product. It's the habit. When it becomes like a habit, then it's a problem, because it's not really good for health. But as an experience, everything is fine. So I'm just expressing my own thoughts. Just take whatever resonates with you. I'm not in judgment. Also, so the body, we have to prepare our body for an augmentation of energy, spiritual energy, as well as we are tested not by God, because God knows if we're going to pass the test or not before the test even come into mind. But the universe and our soul needs to test us to prepare, to see, are we ready? Are we going to become arrogant and take on the arrogant role of the guru? I'm superior to everybody once we move into this ascended form in relationship to humanity, or are we going to remain in service? So we need to be prepared for that, and to keep the balance in energy, to be strong enough, to be centered enough in our inner self, to stay centered. And right now we need to stay centered in third dimension, in our physicality, without being trapped by the limitation of the third dimensions. We have to understand we have guides, and those are guides, and those in the higher dimensions and planes are closer to God than we are. They are more integrated, otherwise they wouldn't be. God would have not appointed them to this mission of service to us as guides. And those, like archangels and so on, are ascended master, are on the higher planes. So we need to respect them. They're here to assist us, protect us, and reinforce our energy, so that we can eventually fuse our own light with the light of the great central sun. We can, of the divine eternal source, to commune with the infinite source of all creation, and eventually stand face to face with our Godhead. For this Godhead is so magnificent. I was a chance to meet my Godhead, and it's like, and at the end we'll see. At the end of the process, we'll realize we are ourselves a Godhead. We are the God we seek. That is created in the image of God. Once we achieve this full return to the source, and then God can descend as a companion. So this is coming. I've seen. I'm a little eager to experience the fullness of what's been my higher self has revealed to me, as all those things that are coming, just as in the physical plane as well as in the spiritual planes. For the universe will allow, or will a temporal and experimental, we're like we're at the end of the great spiral of our galaxy, and our universe is a half, it's made with half light. So it's a very experimental place, and there is a lot of experience and experimentations, but there is always a higher functions that oversees the process of evolutions, and the forces of the universe are far greater. They're always able to oversee the control of evolutions. The will of the universe is far greater than the will of humans, and far greater than the dark forces can believe. But although the experimentation could go on for thousands, millions of years, sometimes like the galactic wars could allow that to happen, but at the end we will all know that God is the only power and was always the only power. It will all be clear to all of them that our creator is all powerful, and if you allow that, it's for evolution purposes. But he will always wait for the last moment, because it was eternal wisdom and his omniscience. So astrology, right now there is Uranus that's moving into Gemini. Astrology is a way to understand human behavior. It's like it kind of because with this very powerful influence from the planets that surround us, and everybody's using that on the higher planes to utilize those. So it's a way we don't need to be interested in astrology to continue to grow and evolve in our spirituality. But it's every advanced civilization have an interest in that. So Uranus haven't been in Gemini since the 40s. So it's going to be a lot of innovation, a lot of innovation, and Venus will conjunct it. Love, new love, the awakener to new love, and the moon is moving in Scorpio, so intense emotion right now. For me, I have a moon in Scorpio in my natal chart, so it's very. But it will assist us in releasing all the wounds, and Neptune is retrograde in Aries, so it's like a re-evaluations of our dreams, introspection. Neptune is the planet that will as a Pisces, I know really much about addiction, but it assists us in removing our addiction. I was once in Venice with a girl, I remember a long time ago. I do space travel. It was very, very interesting. My vision was, I was young. It was just my beginning when I started traveling in the solar system, and I ended up in a space with her, and we were in this apartment, and everything was blue, the same blue. It was like outside the window it was blue, the wall were blue, the furniture was blue, everything was blue, and we were just the two of us, like inside this room. It was kind of funny experience, but those are actually worlds very mysterious. The experience was revealing on my level of consciousness at the time. But it's just I'm expressing my because I'm getting a lot of information from my spirit, from the spiritual perspective, because and that's metaphysics. It's like going directly into the experience and accepting the revelation that comes from our God self and our higher self and our guides, rather than when you go through physics, you need the equation, mathematics. Go through mathematics, and then you create a machine that prove or disprove your theory. The equation needs to work, but for God has given us art, science, and philosophy. So art is to discover what is beautiful, science is to discover what is true, and philosophy is to discover goodness, truth, beauty, and goodness. For then there is cosmology and divinity, the universe as a whole, and how it is administered. So those are. But I have very unique perception on things. Sometimes I feel like I'm proposing ideas, scientific ideas, which I have never. That's completely contradictory to the academical process or what's written in books. For instance, when you take a physics books, when it talks about cosmology, you will see it starts with the Big Bang. everything, like 90% of the scientists will tell you everything started with the Big Bang. Well, actually, what I know is not what I believe, it's what I know. The universe is a lot more ancient than 13 billion years as they pretended. And actually, what's going on is there is a space breathing. For 2 billion years it expands, and 2 billion years it contracts. 2 billion years it expands, 2 billion years it contracts. And so this Big Bang come from a scientist, a mathematician, a priest mathematician from Belgium, named Georges Lemaitre. He observed that there is an expansion in the galaxies are getting farther away because we're in expiration phase of the space breathing, cosmic breathing, and so he concluded that everything started as like the Big Bang. So it's not, but they should question that idea because. They realize, they accept the fact that the universe, the cosmos, as we say it, is 96 billion light years in all directions, from one point to the other. So that means that 45 billion light years in all directions from the Earth, if the Earth we consider the center. So how come if the universe was created 13 billion years ago, the light from the faraway galaxy would have taken 45 billion years to reach us? It's a big contradiction. So I'm more like Einstein or Plato that believe the universe is eternal rather than this theory. But then also what I know is that there is an eternal center that's invisible, and the universe is concentric. And what they do not know, what they believe is that the older galaxies are on the far end of the universe, when actually we are the oldest galaxy. We are in the central ring, the Milky Way, Andromeda, M32, the Galaxy Triangle. We're part of this ring, this first ring of time and space, and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. These amazing clusters that the architect of paradise are continuing to expand their plan to the outer skirt of the universe. It might become infinite at some point, but there is it's like a Maltese cross. There is the space reservoir. When they compress, space expand. When they compress, space expand, and when they expand, space compress. And so it's like the further you go from paradise, the larger but there is an unpervaded space between the space reservoir above and below paradise and the cosmos. All of that is very. Will take a long time before they actually figure it out in terms of cosmology. Another thing that they claim as true, as an absolute truth, is that they claim that there is just as many protons as there is electron within the atoms. And Spirit showed me hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. This is beautiful. Those are amazing. They're divine. They have an aura. They're very complex little things, but there is only one proton in the center of the atoms, and so there are a lot of things we're gonna come to realize. We're gonna have to upgrade our until it's proven. For the equation, but that's metaphysics. We're going directly into the experience. When Spirit is taking me to those places, I cannot. It's an experience of truth. I cannot deny it. I have to, regardless of what the book says. It's like it's what I see. But then the equations will come. The equations will prove to everybody, because when you have a spiritual experience, it's just for you. When you go through the equation and you create a machine to prove or disprove a theory, then you can. Everybody has to agree because it's proven on the material planes. But then again, for a long time, people believed that the Earth was flat. And Giordano Bruno was burned to the stake just to say that the Earth was round. Galileo had to retract his theory to say that the Earth was going around the Sun. The science said that the Sun was going around the Earth. For all of that, so that means that whatever is absolute belief in our time can grow and evolve. So I'm just wanted to rebound, because sometimes I talk about things that I know to be true, but it's like it's absolutely not what the contemporary materialistic science is saying. So just trust your inner light, your inner vision, and allow yourself to be led, to be guided into discovery for the higher discovery of the universe. It's true. God knows the universe more than actually on the higher planes, like many galactics, higher galactic civilization, or teachers of light or ascended masters. They look at the consciousness of the earth, and they find it very funny, the ignorance we have in relationship to our universe and what science. But it's not our fault, because we've been in quarantine and we've been manipulated, and there is all kinds of. So it's all a lot of truth is going to be coming up. Huh? So just prepare yourself, just be at peace with yourself, enjoy yourself, try to find those things that bring you joy, and prepare yourself for this freedom, for this for all those things that are right before us, that we know, we feel, we sense already. And so I'm going to pull a few cards. The card of the day is a step ahead. It's good to be a little bit ahead of the program, and to receive from your intuition. I had this amazing dream, and I woke up and I had a phone call that was completely synchronized with the dream. It was very funny, and so just and to know that the assistance that we need, we're going to be able to find the assistance we need. We're going to be able to work together. We need to be able to count on each other. The higher wisdom is the observer. It's about divine neutrality. It's about being contemplative, not to lean forward or backwards, to be present. What we need to understand is the faithful heart, to be true to ourselves and to those we love. For my higher self, it's got a different, always sometimes it's very different vision than I have, because it sees all the future and all the past, and me, I have a limited vision in relationship to how and when. So I have to trust that, but be true to yourself, and try to be true to those you love. What we need to do is the tribe, to get together. We're gonna need to come together with those people that are sharing our vision, sharing our ideas, that we can be supportive of one another, and coming together as the reunification with our soul tribe. We come from different tribes, maybe. Some come from the Pleiades, others come from Sirius, others come from Arcturus. But we have a common, we have this common belief, this common passion for love, light, and wisdom, and so and creativity. And so for me, it's like in the realm of culture. I'm really eager to go back to work. And the outcome is the thinker. So it's very much about logistic, about strategy, to be ready to put a business plan, an action plan, to be ready. And it's like that is coming, because everything's very slow. We're getting tested, we're getting ready, and then things are going to start, and it's going to be Godspeed. It's going to be. We have to be ready. So that's why God took a long time to prepare us. But I think we're ready for a great breakthrough. Well, thank you very much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. If you want to comment, I hope my ideas do not disturb some well-anchored beliefs. I mean, I'm just sharing. Everybody's free to believe whatever they believe, and whatever we believe, the universe will find a way to prove that we are right to believe what we believe. So it's just a matter of always trying to elevate our thoughts, and to be loving, to be compassionate, to be wise, to receive the information more and more, and to be in the flow. And I thank you for your donations. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.